everybody. I just realized I'm not connected. Let me do that really quickly. And good morning. Happy Sunday to everybody. I am so glad to share this space with you. I was sitting here working on some things. I don't typically work on the weekend. I don't really have strict, rigid rules around anything though. So I just do what I want when I feel like doing it, as long as I'm showing up in my best, right? So this Sunday morning, I actually had an interesting morning. I want to tell you all a little scary, kind of crazy story. Last night, I'm in such deep sleep, and there's like wind that's blowing like crazy here in Austin. And I live high up and I live in a valley. If you've seen the views I've shared, I'm just like all this open space facing me. My daughter wakes me up and our back door is just opening and shutting. It was open. And it's like 4:30 in the morning. There's like this windstorm. It was so creepy. And I'm like, you know what's really bad about this? I was in such a deep sleep. If someone could have been in here, I had no idea. So anyway, it was just kind of crazy and funny. But that was how I woke up this morning. And I went back to sleep and it was interesting. The wind is still going. My poor plants that were out on my patio are just knocked down. So anyway, yes, yikes is right. Hi, Jillian. So I want to talk about a few things. I feel like I'm finally integrating after spending that week with Dr.Joe Dispenza and just thinking of some of the scientific studies that he has done. He has some that are still in process and in motion. And I want to share these with you because I don't know about you, but I know for me, when I found my spiritual practice, I found it because I was at a space of feeling very desperate and hopeless in a way. I had been diagnosed with crazy things like a panic disorder. I was diagnosed with, what else was I diagnosed with? Oh, I had agoraphobia. My scans were normal, but my body, I was like a 28-year-old living in a way that felt like I was like 75 years old. And I just thought, if this is how I feel at 28, what am I going to feel like later, right? And I had all this trauma and fear and just, that's what panic disorder and agoraphobia is. It's just living in constant state of fear. So that's what led me to my spiritual practice. I didn't think it was cute and something I wanted to try. I went there just out of, what if this actually works, So if you know someone that's in a state of feeling depression, anxiety, or any of those things, let them listen to this. But now my meditation practice has evolved so much that I use it in a way of co-creating. And I ask, what am I meant to create in my business? What's my next level of service? How do I make more money? How do I create more space? How do I call in this? How do I call in that? And it can be used for any and all of the above. At the end of the day, there is some beautiful just science that's out there. So I want to share a little bit about that with you. So there's something that Dr. Joe shared at this retreat that is an experiment that they're still in the works with. They took the blood of this person. They called it 0.001 person. I forget. But it was an unidentified person that was in the audience. They took their blood and they did pre-meditation blood, post-meditation blood, and they compared. Now, this is where it gets interesting because what they're doing this study and they're doing it with a very big, prestigious university, as he said, and they really want to change the way that we approach medicine, which we need to do. And they took the pre-meditation blood and the post-meditation blood and they applied COVID to it. And you can see the pre-meditation blood, the COVID stuck to it. It's stuck to it. And it shows because the color changes and they have it under the microscope and all this stuff. So it's fascinating. And then they showed the post-meditation blood. It didn't stick. It didn't stick. The blood did not receive the virus. Now you also know about the studies that they do with, they show that the telomeres, like your DNA, the telomeres actually extend when you meditate. When you're meditating and you reach the state of coherence where your heart, your brain waves shift and they slow down. It's like, this is what I experienced in my first meditation retreat. I show a picture every once in a while when this comes up in my Facebook memories. For my 30th birthday, I went to my very first meditation retreat. And I was not well at that time. I was just about 100 pounds. I was just very slim and not well. I could barely eat. I had so much anxiety. I had acid reflux all the time that caused my throat to feel raw, right? And I would take just like, acid reflux medication. They had me on so many medications, and I just knew deep down that this was not sustainable for me. But when I went to doctors, this is what they gave me. Take this, do that. This is what's wrong with you. So I go to my first meditation retreat, and I had an anxiety attack there because it was so silent. I didn't even know how to deal with all the noise that I was carrying and walking around with. Hi, Teresa. Good morning. So at the retreat, I did have a panic attack, but I also experienced my first really true moments of peace. And what I experienced was there's more to this. It was like an invitation. Nicole, come closer. Nicole, do this some more. Figure out what's here. There's something here for you. So after that, I ended up getting rid of my TV. I was like, things can't be the same as they were anymore. This was 8.5 years ago, right? I go out on this journey and I continue for 2 years, or for 6 years, I kept going to silent meditation retreats twice a year. Whenever they had them, I was like, I'm going to them. And I would continue meditating on my own. And what happened was, not only did my health change, my body change, but I started receiving these creative downloads of visions, words. I would hear things. There's so much that came through for me. And when I see someone and I feel someone, right? Like now I feel people and I'm aware of what people feel like. What does it feel like to be in this person's presence? What does it feel like to be in that person's presence? What does it feel like to be on the phone with this person or on a Zoom call with this person? My body is in constant communion with the external world, and so is yours. Before, I didn't know how to read that. I didn't know how to listen to that. So I just went about life and kind of did what I thought I was supposed to, and I ignored all the internal red flags. Now, I'm always asking and seeking and aligning with harmony, because I know that's just what is going to allow me to be my most powerful self. And it's the same thing for you. So we get to use these tools, if we have the willingness and the discipline to change our lives, to change our health, and to change our business, to change our career path, to change our relationships. There was something interesting that happened with me the week that I was with Dr. Joe Dispenza and with all those people. There's like 1,000 people there, and yes, it was socially distanced. It was spread out over this big space. People were like all the way up there, all the way back there behind us. We had to space out in between each other. So it was a little odd, but it was also so profound and powerful. But there was something that happened. I had to take my daughter with me. Now, I didn't want to take my daughter with me, not because I don't love her, but because this was my retreat for my growth. And I know that I have to be selfish in those times, right? Like I had to be selfish in the time of my retreat. I've never gone to a retreat which was designed for my growth and expansion and took my daughter with me. It's just not what I normally do. I wouldn't suggest it. It's not like the ideal, right? However, because I am a single mama and there was no way to bring my family here or do anything like that because of COVID, they weren't willing to do it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to miss this opportunity that I'm going to take Chanel with me. So I took Chanel with me, and she was so patient and so well behaved that she stayed with me this entire week. And we were there for 9 days. 7 days was the retreat. And I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning, and at 3:30 in the morning, I'm going to these retreats. I didn't tell her to, but I just want to tell you of how our energy impacts the other people's energy and our families and our relationships and our jobs and things like that. That just by me waking up that early and by me letting her know, like I had certain boundaries on things. I was like, it was the week of the election. And I told her, I was like, I am interested in who wins the election, but I don't need the play-by-play of opinions and BS along the way. I want to know the facts. Tell me when there's an actual update. Tell me when something actually happens. So we had these boundaries that we had to like check in against at all times. And I was like, this doesn't feel good to me. I don't want to watch 10 TikToks when I get out of this thing. I want to be still. If you want to tell me about you, I want to hear about you. Don't want to hear about these people on the internet. That doesn't interest me right now. So we were constantly growing in our own ways. And the benefit of this was, and this is what I want to share with you, is that my energy shifted her energy. My energy shifted her energy because she saw me waking up like that, because she saw me being strong in my boundaries, because I was sharing what I needed. I saw that for her, she started saying she was meditating. So while I was at the thing doing what I was doing, I never told her she needed to meditate. She was meditating on her own. Our energy, when we decide that we're going to change our energy, we decide that we're going to change our life, we don't have to make everyone else do it with us. The people that we love, we can see them showing up, shining, growing, and doing the things, and they will rise into it if we're showing up in our strength that way. Because it's contagious. It's absolutely contagious. So going back to this idea of the whole science behind this, right? I want to just let you know this, that there's so much science behind this, and meditation is going beyond religion, right? Like I had some clients and I've had Christian partners or Christian relatives, and they're like, oh, meditation is this or meditation is that. Let me tell you this. There's something that we can touch and access in meditation when we do it and we're willing to go deeply in. It's a high, it's a profound shift. It's something that is so undeniable. It keeps inviting you back and back and back again. So there's a reason why, right? Like even for me, I was about to go to the Cancun event for this retreat. I was like, should I go back at the end of the month, or is that like too obsessive? But I just know how amazing I felt at the last one that I was like, I should go to this. Like I should just invest and go again. But I'm not. I'm going to wait and go to the one in the spring. But I want to let you all know this, that me telling my clients, me asking you, me sharing the things I got too excited and it just fell. Me sharing the things I do, it's not because meditation is a trend or I think it's cute. Meditation has changed my life in such profound ways that I do not doubt. In fact, I'm very convinced that if you would start doing these practices in your life and give your all to it, that you would see that there's so much more in the works for you in your life and your business and your purpose and everything than you possibly have planned for you, because I feel like spirit has bigger plans. Call spirit, God, universe, infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it. It has a plan for you that is beyond what you can plan and strategize in the current paradigm that you're in. So we go into these expansive states, we meditate, we do the things, and we begin to ask questions that let us access greater wisdom and guide us into places that we've not yet been. That's what I call a miracle. So what I have coming up on Thanksgiving weekend, we have Thanksgiving on Thursday the 26th, but on the 27th, 28th, and 29th, I have a virtual meditation retreat called Rebirth. I did one virtual meditation retreat at the beginning of COVID, and it was profound. The women that did it with me, it was only 2 days, this one, but the women that did that retreat with me, I mean, they were getting downloads on their purpose. They were getting downloads. They were having people in their inbox and their emails. They were making money while they were in the meditation. Like things were happening because they were just opening their heart and expanding their field. So the women all had their own profound shifts in their own ways, because we're all unique and we need different things at different seasons of our lives. But the women that shared that space with me, they all felt something different. And here's why. You can't go into hours of inward exploration, tuning out of this external world, the world that you've created with all of your decisions, choices, and beliefs up until now. You have to turn away from that and go within. And when you go within and you start to ask, what's the greater picture here? What's the bigger vision here? What's the bigger idea for my life? What else can I do? What else should I see? What am I not noticing? What am I desiring? When you go within and start to create from that internal space. And I'm not talking about a little cute 20-minute meditation or a 45-minute meditation. I'm talking about a deep meditation and going in again and again and again, which is what we do in a meditation retreat. You begin to create from the infinite spaces. You begin to create from the unknown. And when you begin to create from there, anything's possible. So when people ask me a 5-year plan, I kind of think that's funny. Like when I go on people's podcasts and they're like, what's in your 5-year plan? I tell them, I don't have a 5-year plan. My 5-year plan is to be harmonious, to be happy, to be more in tune with unconditional love, abundance. My plan for 5 years is going to be so limited compared to what spirit has in store for me and what I'm going to see is possible for me the more that I go within and start to access higher frequencies. So let's talk about this Rebirth Weekend that I have coming up. The Rebirth Weekend I have coming up is 3 days. And on Friday, which is Black Friday, it's only one session, it's 90 minutes. But then on Saturday and Sunday, we have two 90-minute sessions. So that means that you're meditating for a total of 7.5 hours that weekend. So you're going to go deeper than you've probably ever been before. And even if you're someone like me that's gone to, like, you can be a novice meditator and never meditated before, or you can be someone that's meditated for days and days and days in silence. It doesn't matter, because each time you go in, you have a unique experience. Now is now. It's eternal. And when you go into the now at any given time, you're going to get what you need from it. But here's the thing. When you go in with a group of people, there is an energy, a wave that we all ride, and it takes us into deeper spaces. There's a phenomenon that happens when we all get together. If you want to Google it, Google the Maharishi effect. Look it up. There's something that happens, and this is even for me. I meditate this week on my own. I've meditated more than I've ever meditated at my house. And I've had a relaxed, beautiful, profound week. However, every time I've gotten into a group meditation, whether I was on Money Miracles, whether I was in Miracle Worker Method, when I did the Bliss Meditation and Miracle Minded, my group, every time I go into a deeper space, because I'm meditating with the intentions and energy of many people. So when we get together to do the rebirth, we're riding the wave of many people coming together. And not only that, we're getting to know each other in the community. So if you're someone that wants to deepen in your practice beyond just thinking about it, talking about it, and being in your mind about what meditation means and what it means to be spiritually connected, and you want to have your own personal experience with the divine, accessing your divinity is something that changes your life forever. And, we can't really make it happen, but what we can do is create the space to go in and go in and go in. And when I'm guiding my meditations, we're not just going to be silent for 90 minutes each segment. That's not what's going to happen. What we're going to do is I'm going to be guiding you in. We're going to be doing all sorts of different breath sequences. We're going to be going into hypnotic states, right? So states of hypnosis where you are accessing the subconscious mind. We are going to be using sound healing and things like that, because I have some new instruments that I bought. So there's a lot of things that are going to be happening. And not only is it healing for your mind and your body, it's tremendously life-changing for your career, your purpose, and your potential. So my friends, I have shared the link of this. If you're someone that has any questions on this at all, I want to invite you. If you're someone that is like, you want to do something ritualistic for the end of the year, you want to intentionally clear space, you want to intentionally access and activate higher frequencies within your life, this is something that you can't miss. And I've made it in a way that anyone can participate. So there is a pay in full. If you want to save a little bit, there's a 2-payment plan, there's a 4-payment plan. But literally, you could get into this for $111, and you have the recordings. It's accessible. You're not going to want to miss this. Hi, Adelina. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Adriana. I don't know if you're still on here. Hi, Cody. So I want to just remind you that I get that it might be a season where you're like, I'm spending a lot of money on Christmas gifts, or I'm spending a lot of money on this or on that. This money that you spend, this resource that you're exchanging, this is going to make you so much more money, more rich in energy, more rich in your presence and power beyond anything that this program can cost. So I want you to understand that while it may seem like a stretch, you stretch into it. You stretch into it and you decide that anything that you're going to give to your personal growth and development is always supported by the divine. If you've heard any of the stories I've shared, I could list all of them. I should probably do a podcast on this one day. All of the crazy times that I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars when I didn't have it, whether I was using my rent money, borrowing, doing things that just seem outrageous. And I'm not recommending that you have to do that. I'm just letting you know from my personal experience. I can only share what I've done. But I've done these things because I've decided that I was desiring what was on the other side of that. And I would trust and act in faith and ask for spirit to just show up and fortify my life and allow this investment to multiply my life. So I just want to help you, for anybody that's in that space that's like, but I just made an investment in myself, or I have to buy Christmas gifts, or I have to do this. When you understand that you're going in to expand your consciousness, that you're going to expand beyond your current reality, beyond your current paradigm, you find out an answer later, you find out a solution later, but you just follow where you're called. So my friends, I hope this spoke to you in some way, shape, or form. If you feel called to join the meditation retreat, reach out to me. Of course, I will have a live meditation retreat again in person, probably in 2021 at some point. But again, it's going to be a few $1,000s versus this one is under $400, right? So you get to decide where you want to enter in. But this is a way that if you do this now and you start to do this work and deepen into this work, who knows where you'll be. I also want to share this, that I'm looking at my laptop. I have a bunch of testimonials that I'm going to be sharing from the ladies that did Divinity Rising, my first virtual meditation retreat. They experienced the peace, the love, the joy, the bliss, the abundance. When you touch that within, it does something to you. It's something that I can't talk into your world right here. I can give you a inspiring idea and you could say, that sounds good. I like what Nicole just said. But for you to go inward and experience it and touch it and know it with your own body, with your own spirit, with your own truth, it's just going to change everything. So I invite you to do this deep work with us. All right, my friends, I'm going to talk to you later. Have a beautiful Sunday and stay tuned. I have 2 new podcast episodes coming out this week and they're going to be the bomb. All right, my friends, bye.